Cape Town forever. Cape Town forever.
Meet Jacques Lagrange, South Africa's king of couture, who is celebrating over 30 years of creating elegant, high-end fashion. Jacques' designs have graced the international runways, including New York Fashion Week. But this gentleman is proudly from Paul. Let's chat to Jacques. We're back with Cape Town Forever, and today we are speaking to Jacques Lagrange. Did I say that correctly?
Lagrange.
Jacques? Lagrange.
Lagrange.
Okay, I like it. So Jacques,
Yes.
you're a fashion designer or a
Couture designer.
Couture designer.
Yeah, couture.
So let's head right into what is the difference between fashion designer and couture designer? I mean, couture. How would you describe that?
So fashion is for the masses, mass production, stuff on the rail. Couture is made for a specific body with very expensive fabrics with specific techniques.
Okay. All right. And let's go back. You're from the Parel.
Little farm boy, born and bred.
All right. And it's, let me ask you again, Paul Gum or Paul Boys?
Palchum.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was closer to the house.
Of course. I mean, did you walk?
No, mom dropped me.
It's okay. My mom also did. So you grew up in the Paul Valley. You went to school, Paul Gum. And this was in 1990s?
1990s, yes.
Okay, so we're talking about a time
Early 90s.
when things were very, shall we
Different.
say,
Very different.
conservative in some ways. How did you get from being, going to school and doing your class and all that to actually becoming a fashion designer? Because I don't think there was a very much a established channel from school to fashion designing back in those days.
Not at all. The thing is, those years people wanted to become a lawyer, a policeman, and a doctor. That was three main jobs. I always wanted to become a designer. I mean, made dresses for my sister's dolls and stuff. So I was the first boy who took needle and home economics, which is a big scandal. I mean, I was called in to say, you can't take it. It's a rugby school. So that's how it started. So yeah.
Cool. And now you make those guys look good.
Apparently I do.
Yeah, right. So you headed out after matric. What was the next step for you?
I studied fashion, South African Academy of Clothing Technology, worked for Errol Irons for 6.5 years and moved to Paris.
All right, Paris. And how long were you in Paris for?
A year, and then I came back to help launch a French brand. And then I did one dress for a friend of mine, German wedding dress, and never looked back.
All right. And do you still do wedding dresses?
Do big thing, but I mean, couture is everything. It's like it's a lifestyle. It's a shirt, it's a pants, it's a dress, wedding dress.
Amazing work. So right now, when you look at the way things were back then and now, it's a lot more competitive right now, and it's a lot more harder to make your mark. How do you make your mark in today's time?
Well, I don't really have competition, I mean, I have to say, but there is more designers out there than before. You have your set clients, now the kids became clients. It's a lifestyle, it's an ongoing lifestyle that they do every day. They live and breathe couture.
So Jacques, talk to me about your creative process. Does it work like the good old days where you go to visit a site or a show and you see what's going on and draw inspiration from that? Do you draw inspiration from a country or local? Do you try and combine things, or is it just something that speaks to you? Or I'm sure material has a lot to do with it. How does this all play a role in couture?
I have to be honest that I think it's like little bits of pieces in my mind, and it's kind of filed like a library. And then somebody says one word and it goes and gets it. And you travel, it's the air I breathe, the fabric I saw, a movie I watched, a song I listened to. And I think eventually I dream about the fashion and everything kind of falls into place. And I see actually how that dress is moving onto the client, onto the ramp, how that wedding dress will look when it comes down the aisle. And that is how I kind of create and shape. And then you see fabrics and you think, can I do that? Can we do that beat in maybe blue or red or black? And then, it just falls into place. It's like kind of doing a puzzle piece and put every puzzle piece back into the whole bigger picture. That's how it works.
Okay. And the material, like, why are these dresses so expensive? Other from the time that you put it into it.
It's the time thing, but also some of the fabrics. I mean, they Schlepfer in Switzerland and St. Gallen, and they produce these magnificent pieces, and it's really, really expensive. And I mean, a lot of people go on about the price tag of these garments, but you have to look in the workmanship that actually goes into creating the fabric and the way it's cut and finishing. I mean, it's just magnificent pieces at the end of the day. And the sad part is clients, they wear it once, and the masses never sees it.
Wow. And you personally, when you work with clients, how long does it take you to actually get to the point where the client has exactly what they want? Do you actually sit there with them and sort of like say, these are your options, or do you speak to them once and then after a while?
Over the years, clients get to know me and they call us like, Jacques, I need a dress. And it's like a painting, it's never done. Because it's like putting beads on a thing. You can put and put, but when do you stop? I mean, and somebody asked me the other day, is there a perfect dress? I don't think so, because I mean, otherwise I would stop working.
Yeah.
I think you always want to push yourself more, to add more to that garment. That's the reality of things.
Okay, interesting. And do you mind if I ask you about what kind of profile people have you worked with? What's the highest profile you've worked with before?
Okay, so I work for very well-known people all over the world. 80% European-based clients. They fly in or I fly to them. We create dresses for them for a specific thing, for wardrobe for a season, or a wedding dress. It all depends what the needs are. But like I said before, couture is a lifestyle, and they live and breathe couture every day, these clients.
Okay. Jacques, couture is synonymous with luxury and exclusivity. How do you ensure that something is exclusive and special, but still can be worn after a while again? Like timeless, so to say.
I was dubbed King of Couture of this country, and they say that I create wearable art on a daily basis, and which is true, because I mean, it is special, it was made for a client, but it shouldn't hang in your cupboard forever. It should be worn, it should be celebrated every day. So if you create that one-of-a-kind dress for that client with the best fabric, the best workmanship that took like hours and hours, that you can't build them because it's just too expensive, but you want to create that garment for them. So I think that makes it exclusive, that makes it luxury, that not everybody can wear every day.
Jacques, we speak about luxury a lot. I mean, we all know that luxury would be like your Bentleys, your Mercedes, and obviously there's brands in fashion that speak luxury, but I think you as a couture designer must know the most about luxury. What is luxury to you?
For me, luxury is spending time and energy on a person to create a beautiful feeling and a lasting memory. That to me is luxury, because also the word luxury is a different meaning for different people. I mean, a mother to put bread on the table for kids, that's a luxury for them. But for people with unlimited amount of money, it's about a feeling for them and how it makes them feel for that short period of time and to get the next fix almost. That to me is luxury.
And your clients, do they ever, ask you to include a lot of your origin countries, shall we say, aspects like South Africa? Does it appeal to them in any ways? Since you are mostly working with people from overseas, do they look at Jacques and go, "This guy's from South Africa. I want some of Africa in my work"?
Well, I am South African, I'm proudly South African, but they don't see me as a South African designer.
Yeah.
I am an international designer because that's my look appeals to them. It is a little bit more European.
Yes.
It's elegant, wearable couture.
So Jacques, since your days in Paarl were quite challenging, you must have had some people that sort of supported you during the process of becoming who you are today. Is there anything that you would look back on fondly and say, I'm proud of that?
I think it's my mom and my home economics teacher. They had my back. And actually, 2 years ago, I took my 30th collection and I took it back to my hometown, Paarl, to celebrate my home economics teacher, Ms. Tiart, because she had my back, like I said before, and I think she was very proud. I mean, because she said, as a young boy, I knew exactly what I wanted and who I wanted to be, and that's what I became.
Yeah. No, that's very important. I mean, a lot of people still at 30s and 40s don't know what they want to become. And you, from the age of what, 12, 13, 14, you knew what you wanted to become. That's great.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you are inspiring other people in the youth to actually go the same route?
I think so. They say I inspire a lot of people, and I mean, my interns will come, and they were like kind of top in their class. But when they come to a designer, they have a totally different kind of idea, I think,
Yeah.
of what a designer is. It's not the red carpet 24/7. It's actually 5 months of hard work for 5 minutes of fame, and not the other way around.
Correct. Yeah.
So people need to realize that. And I mean, I can say with all honesty, the people that leave me can make a beautiful dress just like I can, and to take it to the next level for themselves.
Great. And are they mostly from South Africa, from overseas, or what is the breakdown of your
50-50, 50-50. There's a lot of local young designers that would come to me. There was an intern just now from Italy that spent time with us. So it's all over the world.
Okay.
And our doors is always open for anybody to learn, because I am an open book. I share my kind of secrets with people. I connect people. And I think that is like building relationships. You have to take it to the next level,
yeah.
or to take it forward.
Yeah. So Jacques, you've obviously had many highlights in your career since you've worked with so many, shall we say, important people. What has been, if you had to put the top three there, what would be the number one and the other two maybe?
Top three, it's impossible. There's just too many to mention. But I think the people I've met over the years that changed my life really. People who gave me great kind of tips and how to become a better version of me. The places I've seen, the places I showed, like New York, Amsterdam. I mean, the list goes on. And the charities I've been involved with,
Yes.
changing people's lives. That to me is amazing.
So do you do a lot of charities? Do you do any fashion week, or is it either or?
A little bit of both, but I don't do a lot of fashion weeks anymore. Whenever it's a fashion show, we will kind of charge people to come and see it, to give it back to charity.
Yeah.
I've been involved now for the last 3 years with the Somerset Hospital, the Desmond Tutu Foundation we've been involved with, the list goes on. UNICEF, you name it, we've been involved with that.
Amazing. And this is all in South Africa, or do you go abroad to do it as well?
All over, and I'm actually on my way now to Germany for the Hope Foundation. So that's a new one on the books.
Okay. Which city in Germany are you going?
Bremen.
Bremen.
Yes.
All right. I know some people there. So if you had to give someone advice right now that's watching this and they're maybe sitting in the classroom on Instagram or somewhere where they're not paying attention to the teacher and they're actually more interested in fashion right now, which is how teenagers also usually are, what would you tell them? What would you make sure that if they're going to be a rebel, how do you do it right?
Don't overthink it, just do it. Like Richard Branson said, screw it, let's do it. You have to. Make that dress. If it fails, make it again. That's how it will become a success story. And jump in and swim. That's what I always tell people. And don't compare yourself with anybody else, because you're unique. I mean, if you copy somebody else, you're just another copycat. Just be unique and do your own thing.
Okay, so Jacques, in the last 30 to 40 years of your work, how have the challenges changed over time? And what has stayed consistent?
Okay, I must be honest that over the last couple of years, fabric has become a big problem in this country. I'm talking about South Africa, because the imports didn't come from Europe like it used to. So that is a big challenge. So it's getting harder for us to get fabric. We have to kind of go to Europe to get it. And then secondly, I think it's a dying trade, because a lot of people see the glitz and the glam in it, but they don't want to put the work in it. So teaching techniques to kids, they don't want to do that anymore. They want a quick way or a fast way of doing things. So I think that's two big challenges. And time, there's always the time thing of deadlines and not enough time in the day to finish everything.
Yeah. And if you had a challenge today that you still had 30 years ago, which one would that be though?
I think time.
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 Okay.
We just spoke how magazines would call, say, we're doing a shoot tomorrow, but you didn't know about the shoot.
Yeah.
And it do change. I mean, things change.
Yeah.
Like somebody gets sick, so you need a backup, like a radio as well. Yeah. If you have things lined up and somebody doesn't get, what do you do? So, yeah. And they want the earth and the moon sometimes, but for me, it's harder because you want to give them the best product. And people judge you for that.
Yeah.
Because you're only as good as your last collection.
Correct. Yeah, I feel that. How has technology and social media affected your work?
Not really my work, but people put themselves out there to maybe sell their garments. My clients, it's too high end. They're not on social media.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they get, who they get it from. But I think it's harder today because I think more people wants to prove themselves on social media. But for me, everybody's just becoming just one look.
Yeah.
Everybody looks the same after
Generic.
a while. Yes, and which is so sad.
Which is a strength in your side because it's unique what you do. I mean, you previously mentioned the word bespoke. How do you ensure that your work is bespoke, but still you can work with it later and make sure that it's got something different but maintains the quality?
I think it's my style. It's a very elegant, classic look. So I think it will speak to people for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And if it kind of gets dated, we can just lift the hem maybe a little bit or change the sleeve or something to make it more relevant for that time.
Do you have a signature?
I do have a signature. It's very elegant.
Okay.
Very elegant. Flirty, people say.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I like sexy.
Sexy is always good.
Social media, can I quickly add to that?
Yeah.
So our social media is maybe not very kind of exciting for most people, but it's more media stuff that we've done because we can't promote our clients, which is kind of very sad sometimes because sometimes you look at a garment and say, I wish the world can see it, but you can't, unfortunately.
But if you wanted to,
I
how
would
would you
never
be
do
able
it.
to access Jacques?
Clients, if they post it, they can post it or share the pictures, but I can't because it's very hush-hush.
And if I was a client who wanted to work with you, how would I be able to get hold of you?
It's word of mouth. We don't even have a business card or a website. That's the
great.
secret of it.
No, I mean, some of the best businesses work like that. Right?
And we don't have to advertise.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
The work speaks for itself.
For itself. It's like a really secret couture club for the ladies.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like your dealer. Like, you don't really talk about your dealer, do you?
You can never. And ladies also, I mean, they're very kind of protective, so they wouldn't share these sometimes, you know. Even if they ask, who made your dress? It's like, oh no, I don't know.
They actually say that?
They do.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So they protect their own uniqueness.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then at the end of the day, I think, you know my signature, so people say, oh, that's a Jacques. Yeah. So a client of mine from Dubai, so I dress Taron Lamb singing the anthem at the last bog game.
Yeah.
And then my client said, when I saw the wrap skirt, I knew it was yours. Yeah. So.
Okay. Do you have competitors that you like sort of, and you don't have to answer it like for the thing, but just for interest sake. Was there like a rivalry between you and some other people, or do you like just collaborate sometimes? Is it about collaboration, or is it you know being competitive, or does each person mind their own business at the end of the day?
I think collaboration is very important because I think it pushes everybody's boundaries and it kind of create something unique and new and fresh. Yeah. That's my belief. Because it's not about a dress in a photograph. It's about the hair makeup. It's about the photographer. It's about the design, about the model. Everybody to create that beautiful, perfect picture. Yeah. So I think it's key for people to collaborate. But I have to be honest that I don't have problems with other designers. I mean, I still speak to Errol Ahrens quite often. He asks me a question, can I help? Yes, of course I can. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm an open book to share whatever knowledge I can to kind of help somebody in the future.
Okay.
They also said, I'm a designer on my own island because, I mean, everybody knows about me, but I don't know anything about them. So,
thank you so much, Jacques. Boykie from Nepal.
That happens to be in the fashion world.
It happens to be in the fashion world. Thank you for speaking with us, and hopefully we'll see you soon again, and we'll look out for your signature.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Cheers.
You too.
Cape Town forever. Cape Town forever.